Boom! Welcome back to Double Header with Amir Keenan. And on this episode, we got John Madden, Turduckins, running backs, and Pat Summerall. Stay tuned, everybody.
All right, Amir. Welcome back to another episode of Double Header. So, how you doing today, man?
Feeling good. Got our Thanksgiving episode on, or recording our Thanksgiving episode, and what do you know, we're back in the year 1997, and this is 3 days after the Broncos Raiders game, which you can learn on the hard up right hand corner for our folks on YouTube and also for you folks on Spotify. But you know what? This game took place 3 days after I was born. So, and also Bears and Lions again. So we covered 1997 and the Bears and Lions, I think, twice in their last two episodes. Well, make it three with this one.
Yeah. So, without further ado, I just want to say happy birthday to you, and happy to be doing this with you on this special day today for sure. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it, shall we?
Definitely.
All right. So, excuse me. So we have the pregame notes, and we have November 27th of 1997. So, like I said, 3 days, after your birthday was taking place. So the start time of this game was 12:30 p.m. Stadium was the Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. The attendance was 77,904 people. The television distributor was Fox Sports. Commentators, and hey, we talked about these two before, Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Yep, Pat did an interesting enough Bears and Lions game here, and that was 5 years later. And of course, I think it's the first time we covered John Madden on our podcast.
I believe so. So, if we have already, I'll put a link in the upper right hand corner of your screen now of that episode. So it's November 27th, 1997. So it's Thanksgiving Day. You got your food, you got your family with you, and but there's one thing I'm missing, Amir.
Does it involve football?
You're absolutely right. And like you guys saw in the title slide, we have the Bears and the Lions, 1997. So without further ado, let's meet the quarterbacks of today's game, of Eric Kramer and Scott Mitchell. So Amir, without further ado, man, I know I keep saying that a lot the last few seconds. Do you know anything about these two elite quarterbacks?
Well, I don't know. Well, elite probably isn't what the word, but I do know they've had a no, not their careers are not like say Gamriel, John Elway. Scott Mitchell came to the Lions in '94. Has had periods of success, but it's mostly been periods of struggle with them. He led them to playoffs. Uh, 2 seasons before that, but unfortunately, playing that against the Eagles. Eric Kramer, who covered actually in 1997 against the Dolphins. You know, it's been for them and the Bears. It's been a forgettable year, and fortunately for Mr. Dave Wannstedt, it looks like he won't be back in Windy City in 1998. But Bobby Ross got the Lions in contention at 6-6, and helps that you have Barry Sanders in the backfield, who's on his way to another rushing title.
Yeah, and he's gonna be a big part of our story. Don't you worry, folks. A little bit of a spoiler, a little bit, but yeah, that's a good insight on the two quarterbacks. And elite is definitely not the right word in this case, despite describing these two players. Like we've talked about elite quarterbacks before, and Tom Brady and Brett Favre already on this podcast. But hey, it's Thanksgiving. You know, Thanksgiving Day. Football is here. Big, big part of the day, especially when it comes to the NFL and ratings.
Oh yeah, and also on Fox, that's and for the Lions, this is like their tradition to play on Thanksgiving since 1934 when they're in Portsmouth.
Yeah, I do remember reading somewhere about that and going through the history of Thanksgiving football. So That's an important stat to keep in mind going forward into future days and weeks, months, years. So, without further ado, Amir, let's get to the first half, shall we?
Definitely.
So, the Bears won the coin toss, received the opening kickoff, and right out the gate, a quick 3-and-out for the Bears around the Bears 19 makes Chicago punt the ball. And right off the gate, Scott Mitchell passed complete to Johnny Morton for 17 yards. So Barry Sanders um, for left left 2 yards on the run, and a punt is right out the gate. And Raymond Harris, excuse me,
Okay, sorry.
2 yards. Bless you. 2 yards,
Yeah, thank you.
4 7 plays. 2 yards, 4 7 plays, 81 yards. And without further ado, here is the call.
Since his whole right side was body. This is Raymond Harris. He's in the end zone. Touchdown Bear. The 53-yard gain from Kramer to Pro is what set it up.
So Pat Summerall described it best, Raymond Harris takes it to the house, makes it a 7-0 game.
Yeah, and I know he played a factor in the last Bears game we covered 97 when they upset the Dolphins. And, well, by the way, this Bears team, despite 2 wins, played a lot of close games, so I wouldn't take them lightly.
No. And like you said, we covered the Bears already, this team as a whole already. So, I mean, this Bear team doesn't know when to quit, and I like that. So, so after a 6-play drive by Detroit, they punt the ball again, leading to the.
Remember what a great football name that is, and what a player he was. Oh, look at this one. Wide open is Ricky Pro to the 30. To the 10. Ricky Pro, touchdown Bears. How did he get so open? Well,
how did he get so open? And that's my question too, because he was left wide open and was able to take it all the way to the house.
Yeah, and he got behind the defense and was able to take it from there. And, by the way, Ricky Prohl, future Carolina Panther at this point, and he had a journeyman career with the Rams, Cardinals, and Colts, just to name a few teams he played for in his stellar career.
Yeah, that's a good point. So 14-0, Bears lead, and I wish I brought this earlier. Did you have a score prediction by chance?
I mean, considering the Lions are the better team on paper, I think they win this like 45-20. But so far, it's not looking like it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. So 45-20 for me as well. And but hey, I can still change. And so, meanwhile, the Lions are able to get something on the board after going a couple of 3-and-outs in the first quarter. And I believe this is audio clip right.
From 40 yards out, Hansen trying to put the Lions on the board, and he does.
So, Lions are able to find something on the board on a field goal try.
Yep. So, and Jason Hansen, he would be with them from 91 to like 2011. So he played a long time with the Lions.
I did not know that. That's a new fact for me. So, even though it's the holiday season, we're still learning something new. We're learning something new, in school or wherever. So, but I digress. But 14-3 game. Lions were able to find something. So second quarter now. After a quiet start, the second quarter, the Bears were able to tack on 3 points to make it a 17-3 Bears lead.
Look at this stance, Pat. Jaeger. That's hooking in there.
So there you have it. So another field goal try successful.
Yeah, and Jeff Jager, the hero of the Miami game, his guys bit team out to a 14-point lead, and fans at Silverdome got to be surprised, like what's going on here.
Yeah. So, they didn't expect the Bears to have this big of a lead, and you know they they got to be saying like, where's the feasting, where's the food?
Well, hopefully it'll be coming soon, considering it's 12:30 or 11. Yeah, 12:30 in Detroit.
So they're getting a little restless, the fans out there. So they want to feast on some turkey or some ham or some apple pie, if you will, if you want to start this dessert early.
Yeah, apple pie sounds good.
Mm. Yeah. So real quick, what is your favorite dish on Thanksgiving?
Oh, mac and cheese.
Ooh, that's a good choice. I'll go with three. I'm gonna go with can't go wrong with turkey. Can't go wrong with pecan pie, and
Okay.
my personal favorite is green bean casserole.
All right. All right. I hear you.
So, but, so anyway, enough about food. So, but a nice return after a field goal kick by the Bears. So let's see what Pat Small has to say.
At the 5 is Milbourne. Right there. Again, he's got some room. Again, he cuts back against the kicker. And again, he gets across midfield.
Oh,
And Milbourne.
yep, a nice return right after the field goal kick. Newborn probably takes it about halfway down the field, as Pat Small said. So anyway, a quick 3-and-out gives Detroit out for Detroit, gives the Bears another shot here. So, like you said, Amir, the Lions fans are getting restless again.
Yes, they are, but it looks like they might. I feel like the Lions fans might be on a sudden cheer.
Well, it says they Bears give it right back, and this next bullet point you see right here, a great drive by Detroit, which is a Herman Moore touchdown, and Pat Small take it away.
Mitchell up under the center calling the play. Second down and goal. Mitchell to Moore. Touchdown.
Yep. All right, 17-10 now. So here they come. Here comes the Lions.
Yeah, and they had a very loaded team in the '90s. I mean, everyone thinks about Barry Sanders, but they had three receivers that were great. Johnny Morton, who you mentioned earlier, Brett Perriman, and Herman Moore, who was Case's Megatron before Megatron.
Hmm. And what was that name before Megatron? You said?
Herman Moore.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly on that statement, so I know what the heck I'm talking about come later on. So,
Mm-hmm.
Herman Moore, the receiver before Megatron, like you said, Amir. So a response from the Bears made it a 2010 Bears lead, but the Lions have an answer when it comes to this person right here.
Second and 6 at the Bear 40. Mitchell gets to Sanders. And Sanders has got some room to operate. Barry Sanders inside the 10. Touchdown. Unbelievable. Can he accelerate?
Listen to that crowd in the background.
Yeah, unbelievable. Can he accelerate? Pat John said. And I would definitely agree because he took off running big time.
Oh yeah, and Barry Sanders. Every time you touch the ball, you say to yourself, "Man, we're about to see something exciting," and sure enough, we did.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of kind of reminds me of Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley this year for the Ravens and Eagles. To be honest.
Yeah, you're right. And when he's healthy, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's another good honorable mention. And I'm glad I bought Derrick and Saquon because the Eagles and Ravens are doing really well this year, and especially double header weekly pick segment.
Oh yeah, and in spring we bring that to know the Ravens will be playing tomorrow at the time this recording, and the Eagles will be playing tonight, and both will be in Inglewood, which is outside of Los Angeles, where Fox's studios is at.
Gotcha. So the Lions have an answer. Sanders gets in the end zone. And Amir, we have a game again.
Oh yeah, and then the home team is showing signs of life.
So so Lions fans, grab yourself a snack. Grab you some turkey. Grab you some stuffing. Grab yourself a cold beverage because this is where you guys start to have a little fun right here. The second half, momentum shift, and Bears. I want you to look away on this one.
Like the Bears of right now.
Yeah, so third quarter, coming out of halftime, they're looking for some momentum, and I'll let Pat Simone and John Madden do the talking for this 46-second audio clip. So Pat and John, take it away.
In 4 with Bardell in front of him, and Mitchell will throw. Herman Moore comes down with the ball inside the 5. That's good coverage. And Scott Mitchell makes a decision. First and goal. Mitchell scrambles out of the pocket and gets it knocked out of bounds. Mitchell. Incomplete, intended for Herman Moore. Third and goal with the 4.
I would have given it to him on second down, though, too.
He doesn't get the ball.
And they don't get a first down.
And Mitchell goes down. They're going to have to settle for the field goal attempt. Carl Simpson, one of the better kickers, with a lot of power.
So, Amir, thoughts?
Well, given what I heard, I could have given the ball to Barry Sanders, but they elected not to do it. You can get Herman Moore, so why the heck? And Johnny Morton, so why not? But then again, as I mentioned before, Sanders is on pace for another rushing title. Why not give him the ball? But at least he got points to come out of the drive.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice drive, looking for some momentum, which was nice to see. So, Lions, thinking of other ways to get downfield, and yeah, that's really important. Come for any team.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the Bears try to make something happen and couldn't come back. The Lions, Mitchell deep downfield to Johnny Morton to give the Lions a 27-20 lead after the PAT. And this right here is when the momentum is completely lost to the Bears, and Sanders is able to get his second touchdown of the day. So out of the gate, 34. Not right out the gate, but 34-20 Lions lead. And Amir, teams are not looking good for Chicago.
Oh. Nope, no, they're not. But as for the Lions, you know what? We're not going to make the same mistake twice. Let's get the ball to Barry, and sure enough, he breaks a big one.
So, unfortunately, I do not have an audio clip for the second touchdown. And if you fast forward to the fourth quarter, it says Sanders doing Sanders things. So let's see what this audio clip is about, shall we?
34-20. The Lions lead, and here's Sanders again. Sanders will score his third of the day. He is absolutely amazing.
Yes, he is, Pat.
Wow. Third touchdown on Thanksgiving Day. He's got to be feasting, eating and feasting, I should say. Because all
Oh
the
yeah.
food that he's seeing on the field is nom 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 nom. So good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the Lions fans are feasting as their team's out in front and by a convincing margin too.
Yep. So the Lions keeping on with Rivers going on, number 34, 48-20, and I'll let Pat Sumwall take it again. Take it away once again.
How many more games we have left this year?
This is Rivers. He's into the end zone. Well, that's a play that's been good to the Lions today.
Now the offensive line of the Lions is worn them down, and Barry Sanders has really worn them down.
So
Yeah.
Sanders, not Sanders, but Rivers finds the end zone to make it 48-20. And John Madden said it best. You know, the Lions' offensive line has been stout, has been great.
Yes, it has, and that's in the second half, building those big holes for Barry and his backup Ron Rivers.
Ron Rivers, the backup going in for Sanders, and for the Bears, trying to make it more respectable.
Autry's behind Stenstrom. Well, will be another touchdown. Tracy Scroggins picked it off in the air, and the Lions go into the 50s.
Not say Barry Sanders, so I hope he doesn't leave before we give him the turkey leg.
That was a nice. That was a nice little sound bite from John Madden there at the end.
Oh yeah, and you like the touchdown before that, Tracy Stroggins with the touchdown and the Lions going for 50 points.
So I got the score sheet right here on a score of 55-20. So Amir, yeah, we were we were close to being correct on our prediction there.
Yep, either way, I mean, it took a while for the Lions to get going, but in the second half, they finally clicked and never looked back.
A tale of two halves. You would agree with that, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, well, Bears, not the performance that you wanted. So, with that, let's get the players stats. Eric Kramer, 13 for 26, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, 2 sacks. Man, I mean, that line from Kramer is not bad.
I'd say pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good, but the score doesn't reflect that.
No.
So Harris with 19 attempts, 49 yards, 1 touchdown, and Ricky Covell with 7 targets, 4 receptions, 164, 1 touchdown. The longest of the day was 78 yards, and the longest of the day for Kramer passing wise was also 78, rating of 98.1. So Amir, your thoughts on the Bears?
Yeah, the stats don't tell the whole story, but I mean, they dominated in the first half, but the second half, yeah, they Rams unfortunately couldn't move the ball, and sadly they couldn't. Why they were outscored, they were shut out in the second half.
Yeah, it was just a tale of two halves, a flip with switch, something that ignited the Lions team. I mean, which is good because Scott Mitchell was 20 for 31, 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 sacks, 8 yards, and 50 was the longest, and the rating was 101.8. So that's fantastic if you think about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know Scott Mitchell didn't deliver in the playoffs. He's not alone. A lot of course don't really deliver in the playoffs, but he has moments where you say to yourself, "That's why we signed him to that. Why we signed him to that free agent deal back in '94 for Miami." And then Shane didn't work on the playoffs, but you say to yourself, "That's why we signed this guy, so he can do stuff like that."
Yeah, and I bet there's a lot of people, a lot of athletes out there that are saying the same thing. Like, that's why you saw me. That's why I'm here. Stuff like that.
Hmm.
And with that, speaking of that's why you signed me. Barry Sanders, 19 attempts, 167 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the longest of the day was 40. I would say he gets the cut open that turkey leg.
Oh, or yeah, that turducken presented by John Madden, and he earned it. $1.67 in the hat trick, and just another day at the office for Mr. Sanders.
Definitely. And Johnny Morton, 14 targets, 7 receptions for 120, and 1 touchdown for him. So, hey, he found the end zone.
Oh yeah, and he deserves turkey leg as well.
Let's see. Herman Moore, 7 targets, 89 yards, 6 receptions, 1 touchdown. 26 was the longest. He deserves a turkey leg.
Plenty of them to pass around to the Lions' offense, I will say, and the offensive line.
Yeah. Can you pass the cranberry sauce? Can you pass the ham?
Or the trifle. I mean, fans will know what I'm talking about, and maybe some popcorn, or from Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
That too. Or
Mhm.
or if you want to get if you want to think of another Thanksgiving dish, squash.
Oh yeah, okay, squash. All right, yeah.
Um, but yeah, with that being said, anything else to add before we get to our second segment?
No, just heck, the Lions. I know would go to the playoffs that year. Barry Sanders would not only win the Washington title, but go over 2,000 yards, which is he was the third player to do it at the time. As for the Bears, they finished the year 4-12, and yet somehow Dave Lonsett was brought back for another year. I know that makes no sense.
No, no, I'm just confused, just thinking about it. But folks, that will be the end of my presentation. And coming up next, we have another game to talk about on this Thanksgiving special. So, what, uh, who are the what's going to be the matchup? Well,
Cowboys, Giants, and oh yeah, familiar face. Here's a hint. Boom.
well, Amir, you said it. So we'll, we'll find out after the break. You're listening to Double Header. Be sure to like and subscribe.
All right. Well, welcome back, folks. We're first half of our doubleheader for our Thanksgiving episodes in the books. Now we're on to our second game, which will be we run back to year 1992. Anything come to mind in 1992, Keenan?
When it comes to NASCAR rise, I would say, I would say definitely Richard Petty making his final Cup start. Jeff Gordon making his first career NASCAR Cup start, and probably the best championship battle that season to end the season.
Okay, Jeff Gordon. All right. I did not. Man, no, that was his own first cup race that year, or debut rather.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. And who would have thought that would have been Richard Petty's last race as a race car driver too. So two legends uh, i- in that in that race. So
Yeah.
soon to be legend, and you had Richard Petty, the king. So
Well, either way, yeah, one legend on his way out, one's beginning his legacy. So yeah, definitely. As for me, no, 1982 was the last season for Cheers, which also had a great Thanksgiving episode way back in 1986. Yeah, 86 with or 87, which every good chance to see it, one of the best episodes of all time. And also, 92 was the NFL was still on CBS, and the Giants and Cowboys were playing. So heck, like you said, plenty of once the Lions game was done, you get second coming with the Cowboys, who were or staple on Thanksgiving since like the mid 1960s.
yeah, that's well interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm. And also for the Giants, this will be their second appearance on Thanksgiving. Their first came a decade earlier up against the Lions in Pontiac, which they won 13-6, and Lawrence Sale had that long pick six in the game. And unfortunately, we will be talking about Mr. LT, but unfortunately, on a more somber note, the Giants, and also the game is Thursday. Be the third time the Giants to face the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. They faced off 2 years prior, with Dallas won 20-20. But by the way, I'm up for Tom DeVito versus Cooper Rush on Thursday.
I mean, this episode will definitely be out probably tomorrow, so it'll be out before Thanksgiving. So that statement is definitely valid. So
Yep. So anyway, getting back to the Giants, 92. Well, they're 2 years removed from winning the Super Bowl. Bill Parcells, who's being carried off, but by this point he's in the broadcast booth. And the Giants in '91, went through growing pains, no injuries, no Parcells, quarterback controversy with Wilson and Chip Hostetler, and they finished 8-8 under Ray Handley. Then, yeah, as I mentioned before, Wilson, Chip Hostetler, Ray Handley, looking pretty good in the Giant fellas, I might add.
yeah, I definitely agree. Some people look really good in giant colors. Others may not. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, I know the Giant fans. I mean, Ray Handley was not. Unfortunately, he came into an unfortunate situation, taking the words for Bill Parcells and the team won the Super Bowl. You got to, I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. It was just a very tough transition. I mean, yeah, he got the same team, but it's aging, injuries. It was just a tough situation to walk into.
Mm. Yeah, that is tough if you think about it. And think about this too. The injuries. With certain teams around the league today. How they have to. You know, do a next man up mentality as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because the Giants '92 got to a very good start. 5-4, 9 games in. They come up a big win over the Packers, 27-7. But unfortunately, in that game, LT blew out his Achilles and was lost for the season. Of course, they already lost Phil Sims for the season due to an arm injury. And then 2 weeks later, Jeff Foster gets knocked out with a concussion and collapsed against the Eagles. And when in our Thanksgiving Day game, it's, as you said before, next man up, Mr. Kent Graham. He's going to be named the starter. He's only thrown 32 passes going into the game. So, yeah, good luck, Mr. Graham.
Hmm. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens in this game coming up because you say good luck to Mr. Graham and he's definitely looking for something big, right?
Oh, yeah, having a short week against a team that is starting to become a little name called America's team. America's team. Am I talking about the Cowboys?
Yes, once again, we are talking about the Cowboys for at least the fourth time this year, I would say.
Yeah, and one of which we involved Phil Simms. I know we touched briefly about his part, the guy replacing Tony Romo in way back in April, which you can, if you don't want to see that, click the card in the upper right hand corner. Anyway, speaking of the Cowboys, well, they were coming off some tough times. At 89, they went 1-15, but steadily improved 79 to 91, won 11 games, and the first ever playoff game in over a decade, which you see here over the Bears. But they're going. Then they got blown up by the Lions the following week. But expectations pretty high in Big D. Say Super Bowl aspirations.
Yeah, it is the '90s. We talked about how good Dallas was in the '90s.
Oh yeah, here's a familiar name. Oops, name. Jimmy Johnson. No, not that Jimmy Johnson, NASCAR fans. Cowboys Jimmy Johnson. Yeah.
Yep, and we brought up Jimmy Johnson's name dozens of times already.
And also, fun fact about Jimmy Johnson and the Cowboys, he was classmates with Janis Joplin.
Oh, I yeah, I think I knew that, but for folks out there on YouTube and Spotify land, did you guys know that?
And you did. That's cool, but you don't. Hey, now you know.
Yep, for sure. So Jimmy Johnson, Dallas Cowboys coach. Dallas is looking to exceed expectations. '90s Dallas Cowboys team. So Amir, what's next?
Well, you said it exceeded expectations. They're 9-2 after 11 games, coming off a 6-point win in Tempe, Arizona over the Cardinals, 16-10. And they got a number one rated defense led by Charles Haley and Mike Zimmer. Yes, the one that's coaching the Cowboys now, or the Cowboys defense now, which is well, not it's not. There's no anything in the '92 team, but that's neither here or there. And then they got Emmitt Smith, who's on his way to a rushing title, a second rushing title because he won it in '91.
And didn't back when I did my presentation, what wasn't it Harris? Uh, was it who was it? I already forgot for the Lions.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders. I don't know why I kept thinking of Harris, but Sanders did his thing, for the rushing record for the Lions in '97.
Yeah, and during the '90s, it was not only between Barry and Emmett be like the battle for rushing title, but also who would surpass Walter Payton to be the all-time leading rusher in NFL history. We're going to have the Bears a lot in this episode, again, covered in your segment, and here they are here, and of course Walter Payton, who would be elected to the Hall of Fame a few months after this game. He's now retired, and it's now in Barry and Emmett who can be the all-time leading rusher.
Well, all-time leading rusher in '92. That's not a bad that's not a bad accomplishment.
Oh yeah, and also one more thing before I move on, Dave Vonson, who we brought up on our pre-year segment, he is also part of this Cowboys coaching staff.
Yep, that's something to keep in mind too. So, without further ado, let's go. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, and speaking of familiar faces, wouldn't be Thanksgiving without these two guys right here.
Oh, is that Pat and John once again?
Yes, sir, it is. Pat and John calling the game for CBS on Thanksgiving.
Who would have thought we would have a double Pat and John commentary?
Well, hey, it's Thanksgiving. Why the heck not? And it's like, John Madden, with his turducken and, his memorable calls, with boom, unbelievable, and all that stuff. And, oh, yeah, and then Pat Summerall with his delivery, they just go together, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. And is Pat Summerall still with us?
No, he passed away in 2013. That was like our freshman year of high school. I never was going
That
to learn that.
Yeah. So April 16th, 2013, and John Madden, he unfortunately passed away 2022,
21.
21. Yeah, it was somewhere at 21, 22. Yeah, and so those those people are not with us anymore, unfortunately. But I don't know how to segue into the next thought. But I mean, I'll let you take it.
Well, their legacy lives on with their great calls on the NFL and CBS and Fox. And CBS still had the NFC package at this time. So it would lose a year later. And of course, he called numerous Cowboys games, including the one here at Texas Stadium, which we covered back in our farewell episode, our stadium finale episode. Excuse me. So here we are again with visiting Texas Stadium. So it's like, hey, Cowboys on Thanksgiving, Pat and John Thanksgiving. Well, we got bringing the telestrator because John was master at that. And oh yeah, it's gonna be an exciting game between the Cowboys and the Giants. Where, oh by the way, Pat Summerall, used to be the place hitter for the Giants back in 50s and 60s.
I I did not know that. Another fun fact.
Yep, and also John Madden also had a brief playing career. He played for the Eagles in the early '60s as well before he went into coaching.
Yep, that I knew for sure. I mean, I definitely knew about his coaching career, especially with the Oakland Raiders.
That is correct. And also, speaking of corrections, and you got a score prediction?
Hmm. After doing no research whatsoever, for the 15th billionth time this year, but that's okay. That's what makes this podcast fun a little bit with predicting the score. But hmm, I'm gonna say 27-20 Dallas wins it.
Okay, so Kent Grant's gonna make it close. Um, for me, I just throw week for the Giants. They're throwing out a rookie quarterback against the number one ranked defense. I just think it's going to be a struggle for the Giants. I see Dallas wins it going away, 31-3.
Uh, okay, so two sides of the coin. I like that. I like it when we're different. So.
Yep, and also the intro they had for this game had Guns N' Roses. It was a very good intro too.
Hmm. I don't remember that one, but I'll definitely right after the show is over. I'll look that up. I'm not the biggest Guns N' Roses fan, but hey, it was the '90s. They were still sort of relevant. I mean, they still are, but they're not. They're, in my opinion, I don't think they were good as they were back in the '80s.
Yeah, the song that they used in the intro was called "Nothing Lasts Forever." You know, the transition of the Giants from their Super Bowl run 2 years earlier to the Cowboys to their current run right now, or at the time of this video, excuse me. So, having said all that, let's get to the game.
Let's do it.
All right, so Giants win the toss. Get the ball first, and the rookie's doing pretty good against the number one ranked defense. Gets them down to the 35-yard line in position to into the end zone. Let me turn off the pen real quick here. But unfortunately, doesn't Trouble rises for Big Blue.
Baker's hand. He had it there, too. Well, that was a perfect throw, and that was against double coverage. Baker ran right through double coverage, and Kent Graham throws a perfect pass to him.
Okay, so right towards the double coverage, or right away from double coverage, as John Madden said there.
Yeah, so Kent Grant throws a perfect pass to his receiver, Stephen Baker, excuse me. But unfortunately, Baker can't come up with the catch, and Instead of scoring 6 points, the Giants had to settle for three. But unfortunately, Matt Barr, the hero from 2 years ago, his 35-yard field goal hits the upright, and the Giants walk away empty-handed.
Ouch! I was going to say, hooray, Giants are is on the board first, but ooh, it seems like that turkey that turkey that the field goal kicker ate was a little bit bitter.
Well, I did bitter for the Giants fans. And by the way, we'll get back to Mr. Baker as this slide presentation continues. Having said all that, yeah, wasted opportunity for Big Blue. As for Big D, they moved the ball pretty well too. I mean, they had 3 possessions. They had ran 24 plays, but unfortunately, each drive ended in field goals by Lynn Elliott, so they only have a 9-3 lead. So you're the Giants, or 9-0 lead, excuse me. You're the Giants defense without the service of Lawrence Taylor. You're saying to yourself, hey, we're keeping our offense in the game.
Yeah, so you know they're doing what they have to do. The Giants are doing what they have to do. So um, I got nothing else to say going on. So back to you.
Yep. So here's Lynn Elliott. He kicked 3 field goals in the first half. And the Giants starting to get some momentum going in the second quarter. You're only down by three field goals. A touchdown makes it one-score game, and it looks like they might be in position to do that until disaster strikes again.
McCaffrey, you lost it. And the Cowboys get it back. James Washington scooped it up for Dallas.
That name sounds familiar.
McCaffrey, is that Christian McCaffrey's father?
You are correct. Ed McCaffrey, who we covered twice in the again, span of 3 episodes we covered him. Not second episode in a row we covered Mr. Ed McCaffrey. We covered his team, the Broncos, in the bonus episode, which is available for viewing in this right now, and you can do it by clicking the card in the upper left-hand corner, or right-hand corner, excuse me, and also the 9/11 episode. But back in '92, Ed was part of the Giants. Not quite the household name yet, but yeah, he had unfortunately that costly fumble that unfortunately had Giants fans saying this may not be our day.
Yeah. So momentum shifts to Dallas, and you gotta be saying to yourself like, what's going on? We've looked pretty decent, or at least pretty good for that matter. So a lot can still happen.
Oh yeah, and also Kevin Smith punched the ball out on the play. So I circle here, and then James Washington recovered the football for the for the Cowboys. So now if you're the Cowboys, you have a chance to make up for not only cashing again but find the end zone. But one play later, Giants defense steps up.
Intercepted on the rebound by Renee Thompson.
Yep, so you heard it there. Renee Thompson.
And Thompson getting the interception. So things are looking good now.
Yeah, and now he also set up by a deflected pass by Mark Collins, who's covering Michael Irvin on the play, and that was one play after the Ed McCaffrey fumble. So the Giants got new life, and well, they were able to take advantage of it, get down the field and get a field goal. Matt Barr make up for his earlier miss from the kick, a 35-yard field goal to get the Giants on the board before halftime. So having said all that, you're the Giants. You're feeling pretty good about yourselves.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll just say this real fast: Michael Irvin and all these players that we talked about already, we've covered, in previous episodes. So it's kind of like these players that we talked about is all at the Thanksgiving table with us having dinner. So
Yeah, it's yeah, good analogy there. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And speaking of Thanksgiving dinner, if you're Dallas, you're up, leading at halftime, but you're feeling like we're letting these guys hang around.
yeah. What's the score again? So I can make a comment.
9-3 Dallas.
All right, 9-3 Dallas. Close, but they're not out of it. That being New York. So I mean, they're not out of it. Like I said, but I don't know. Just play like you did in the first half, or play at least a little bit better. At least I know it's simple, but
Yeah, I mean it's and let's have my notes here. Yeah, yeah, the Giants' offense was like I mean outside their last drive and their opening drive was held in check by the Cowboys defense, again number one ranked in the league, and then the Cowboys offense, while they were to move the ball, they had to settle for field goals, and yeah, and it's just they also coming up went over the Cardinals. It was like 16-10, so it wasn't like they were not like they've been lining up the scoreboard the last what is now 6 quarters. So it's got to feel yourself, Cowboys fan. We got away with the last week, but we may not be so lucky today on Thanksgiving.
hmm, yeah. So a lot can still happen, and
Oh yes. So let's go on to the second half. So again, Giant Cowboys get the ball first. Don't really do much with it. But then the Giants get the ball, move down the field on their first possession in the second half, and the drive stalled, have a chance to get some points. So Matt Barr maybe can make it a one possession or closer game. Excuse me.
44 yards.
You heard it right.
person said no good right away. So,
Yeah, either a Cowboys player or fan said it. A microphone might have picked it up, but yeah, Matt Barr not only missed the kick, it was not even close. So missed opportunity for a big blue. So Cowboys get the ball back, and a familiar face is gonna find the end zone.
I don't think they did take a snitch.
Yeah, that
ooh.
the audio was not the best there, but I know Emmitt Smith drew 6 Giant defenders into the end zone and got our first touchdown of the game.
Emmett Smith, another guy we've talked about plenty of times on this show.
Yep. So yeah, Emmett puts scores the first touchdown in the game, and after the Giants forced about go 3-and-out on offense, that's probably a horrible telestrator use of the telestrator there. Mr. Emmitt Smith is back at it again.
Oh, it's better than mine. So let's see what this next audio clip is all about.
Here we go.
Through them, and you can't go around them. Great footwork, too. This is Emmett Smith. Emmett off to the races. 68 yards.
Yep, 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
kind of faded away, but it's 68 yards for the touchdown or run.
68 yard run for the score, and another again. You probably why went a little silent for a while. You can just hear in the background the crowd, cheering because it's a big play. Something you don't really hear nowadays, and announcers in the NFL they're usually talking as a big play occurs. But Pat, he would, let the crowd speak let you know what's going on in big moments.
I I like that, to be honest, but it's kind of but at the same time it's important to call what you see on the field, kind of like what kind of like what other commentators do.
Yeah, and speaking of commentators, Troy Aikman, who was we all know for Fox and CBS, well, he's the quarterback of this game.
Roy Aikman.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, we covered him in our episode that just came out not too long ago. It's crazy. Yeah, we got a big guest here at the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah, yeah. No wonder. No wonder it's a throwback to the '90s Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh yeah. So anywho, looking back to the '90s, Mr. Emmitt Smith, he's now scored twice in the span of 3 plays, and Cowboys are now won the margin 23-3. So I think that Thanksgiving feast is definitely looking better in Big D.
Yeah. So most definitely, they are doing what they have to do. And as for New York, you're running out of time.
Yeah, it would be a long day for Mr. Kent Grant, who would get sacked thrice in the second half and couldn't really generate the offense, which unfortunately after their meltdown against the Eagles, they ran out of gas. But then you're going to number one defense, so it's going to be a long day. And rookie quarterback, so he got pulled from the game, replaced by Dave Brown, and by that point, it was basically all. If the Cowboys weren't dominating already, well, it was all she wrote. Because the next, only in the fourth quarter, they went for the dagger. And that was to Alvin Harper. I know that the audio was a bit lagging there, but yeah, Alvin Harper's close out the scoring, make it 30-3 Dallas, and they won. While they had a up and down first half, second half, they knew they had to put the game away, and sure enough, they did.
Well, they did what they had to do, and if you're facing the number one ranked defense, like you said, Amir, it is going to be a long one.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Mr. Harper, he wrapped up the scoring there. He had 30-3, so yeah, big day for him. A good job on his part. And then speaking of the Cowboys defense, second half they held the Giants offense to 81 yards, 6 first downs, 4 to 3 sacks, and only 33 yards passing.
Wow. So yeah, you ain't kidding when you said the number one ranked defense.
Yeah, and despite all of that, they didn't have a Pro Bowler or excuse me, a guy get selected to Pro Bowl that year, which I find strange given they had the number one ranked defense.
Yeah, none of the defensive players got selected.
No, no.
Weird.
Yeah, yeah, I do know they didn't like. I think only 20, not 20. So Jeff Cole only had one on that team had double digit sacks, but you figure number one defense, someone's got to make. And none of their players like were top 5 or 10 interceptions. But either way, number one ranked defense, it's got to at least have 3 guys go to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to respond to that because number one ranked defense, there's no team whatsoever, no players rather, not even on the roster, and you're saying to yourself, what?
Yeah, I remember reading about that in the book back when we were in middle school. I was like, that's interesting. But anywho, either way, dominant performance by their defense, great performance by their offense in the second half, and when you have a great performance on Thanksgiving with John Madden on the call, the reward is interview with Mr. Madden and grab some turkey legs, Cowboys. So I know Adam Smith's going to grab one. And all the offensive line grabbed some, and I think they look for leftovers for their defense and the rest of the team as well.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed watching highlights of that. Seeing the players eat the turkey and I don't know if any other leagues do it, but the only closest one I can think of is the National Basketball Association.
Yeah, because I know they do their Christmas Day stuff, and as for other guys who would do like Thanksgiving Day awards, Wilson's had the All Iron Award when he was did games with Jim Nance. Nowadays, I know Tom Brady's going to give out his Let's Go award for now. He's doing the game for Fox. So whoever wins it this week, this Thursday for the Giants or the Cowboys, they'll be see that award, a special one. And NFL Network, when they had the package to give out, we gobbling, I forget the name. It was like a pudding pie. There it is for their players of the game. So it's just that's what I love about the NFL and Thanksgiving, how they get creative with their player of the game award. It's like Thanksgiving related. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to this weekend or this Thanksgiving weekend to see, if the games are I want to say competitive, well thought out, and entertaining.
Oh yeah, and also this is going back to the '90s. They of course we just beat Lions, Cowboys, and it wasn't 2006. We had like the Thursday night game or the third game, which was started by Lamar Hunt, the late owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, and we had to pay tribute to him for that having that third game for every year since 2006.
Hmm. So 2006 they started doing that. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Anywho, so wrap things up. Cowboys would go on to win. They were the 10-2, and then at season's end, this is a sight we haven't seen in a long time in Dallas.
Well, it has been quite some time, like we said thousands of times on Dallas Cowboys segment.
Yep, so here they are, Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones holding the Lombardi Trophy. They would dominate the Bills 52-17 in Super Bowl 23 in Pasadena, California at the Rose Bowl. And when you win the Super Bowl, have a parade. And the Cowboys fans, oh yeah, you've earned it from 1-15 to Super Bowl champions in 4 years.
Yeah, and it's their second to last Super Bowl since they won, right? Because it's 92.
This will be the first of 3 they won in the '90s. So this would be at the time of this would be their third, and they went finished the year 13-3, 92 Cowboys.
Yeah. So 92. Was 93 and 94?
95.
92, 93, 95.
Yep.
Okay. Nobody has three-peat as of this recorded.
Nope. No three-peat. The Cowboys did
Yep.
come close.
Yep. Kansas City's probably the next in line for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and they had some good '90s teams as well, which we'll probably touch on in some future videos down the road.
Definitely. So I'm all set. I got nothing else to say. So congrats to Dallas for sure.
Oh yeah. As for the Giants, they finished the year 6-10, and as this title says here, Mr. Henley, the days in Big Blue are over.
That's a pretty cool headline, to be honest. Not a pretty cool title, but not a good headline.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate situation for him. I mean, he had to taking over Bill Parcells, who you see right there. He's right there. There was thoughts of bringing him back, but he was, with the broadcasting, and he would come back for coaching, but he'd do it for the Patriots. But either way, I think Hanley, the quarterback controversy between Sims and Hostetler, defense, I heard did not get along with him. It was a tumultuous period for the Giants after Super Bowl 25, or 25, so 27 for the 20 for the Cowboys. I meant to say, not 23.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean something's got to change if you're the losing end sometimes. So
Yep. So after 2 years in East Weatherford, Ray Hanley was fired and replaced by Dan Reeves, former Broncos head coach.
Well, that's not a bad replacement.
No, I mean, 'cause in his first year with the Giants, won 11 games and won a playoff game. And even came down to the wire with the Cowboys for NFC East supremacy. So yeah, did a good job with them in his first year taking over for Ray Hanley.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Yeah. So anywho, that wraps up this my presentation in this episode. I'm glad y'all were able to stay tuned with us, and for all you out there, happy Thanksgiving. At the time of this recording, this will be out definitely before the games that on the 28th of November. But either way, special day in this country for every around the world, or in the people who are or in the NFL. 'Cause, they have 3 games on the slate. Bears at Lions, Giants at Cowboys, and then Dolphins at Packers. So enjoy the football on Thursday. And that being said, this is Double Header with Amir Keenan Costain. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and on our Wix site. And as usual, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
See you guys and have a great Thanksgiving. Goodbye.